eyes start going a little.
Does it look level?
I think it looks the same as it always looks.
Okay, maybe it's the moonshine and the Midori sour.
I think it's us. We're a little bit fucked up right now.
Woo! So we were talking about some barbecue.
Yeah, so Memorial Day weekend, shout out to all the veterans who make it.
For sure.
Who make it able and willing for us to have that 3-day weekend.
Making it a holiday worth celebrating.
Yes, because I am all for our veterans out there. Shout out to my father-in-law who is a veteran, as well as all the in-law, uncles, and so forth and so on who also served.
Yes.
In the armed forces.
Yep. Shout out to my brother. We got a lot of friends and family that all served. Thank you so much for your service. I know Memorial Day is more about remembering those who have served or who lost their lives in the line of service. So, you know, obviously, like I said, definitely a holiday worth remembering and worth celebrating. We shouldn't lose sight of that.
Indeed, indeed. But of course, that also involves some barbecue.
Some barbecue. I like that.
You know, so I bought shout out to Costco Business Center, man. They had the whole walk-in meat cooler with all.
You were telling me about it. This place sounds incredible.
Yes, the Costco Business Center. So you don't have to have a business to shop in there. You can have a regular. I got the executive Costco membership. You know, so they can pay for my membership every year.
That's right.
Going in, they got a whole walk-in meat cooler. You get all your briskets and they just like stacked up on a pallet, boxes and boxes of brisket and shit. God, you know, get like pork rub. You got pork ribs. I bought a rack of beef ribs for $17. $17 for a rack of beef ribs. So I'm gonna cook it, see how much meat actually lasts on that bad boy. Tomorrow I'll start cooking early tomorrow morning.
Right.
No, probably 7 o'clock, I'll start throwing all my meats on so I can paint in the process.
I'm excited to get in there and enjoy some.
Yeah, man, you know, I enjoy cooking. I'll throw some links on there. Tri-tip.
Yeah.
Reverse sear.
Yep.
Talk
smoke, dirty to me.
Get a little smoke action in there.
Yeah.
Get a reverse sear on the tri-tip and serve it up with a little potato salad.
And you said the rub you were putting on there was?
Bone-sucking sauce. A bone-sucking rub.
Right, and I almost made the mistake of saying I love
to suck on bones.
Right. But I didn't. I stopped myself.
Because Mathis Bailey's gonna be on top of that. You know what I'm saying? Daryl Hinton, you know, our boy Daryl, he's gonna be on top of that.
Yep, there'll be rainbows all along the comments. That and Darshawn.
Darshawn Woods, he's gonna be on top of that.
Ooh, man, I'm telling you, that moonshine certainly gonna get you. What's going on, everybody? Cigar Titan here once again, my good friend Brother Stogie. Say hello to people.
Tight fail.
Brother Stogie.
Looking a little distinguished up in this motherfucker.
That's right. Well, the people have found the most entertaining cigar channel on all of the YouTubes. They have found That is right. And you don't even have to act the robot voice. I'm going to go ahead and put that in.
I know, that's why I did that.
It's nice and slow and deep.
The deep voice can be a deep robotic voice for it. I got you. You know what I'm saying? But so I can see today, got the Gucci Gachis on today.
Yep, finally got the glasses.
Yeah, got the prescription Gucci Gachis on, you know?
It's time. You know, we're getting a little older. We talked about that in our last episode.
I'm okay. You know, I posted on, Facebook, at the Brother Stogie on Facebook if you want to go and follow a brother. And on Instagram as well, I showed my new prescription glasses, and the Can't See community was very welcoming.
Yes,
they said welcome. As when we get to these older ages, and our human characteristics start to dwindle down, we have to keep up with ourselves and make up for those abilities that are starting to go down so they can stay up there, which is vision.
That's right.
I can see. I got to make sure that when I read my LushCigarClub.com cards, when we provide, I got to hold it out here. You know what I'm saying? So I got to make sure that everything is right for y'all. So yes, there's a glass from Brother Stogie. I can see. I don't need them today, but I just want to wear them so that people can see that I did actually get prescription glasses. Yes.
Well, Brother Stogie, today's episode is going to be about kind of that old generation of cigar smokers versus the new generation of cigar smokers.
Yes.
You ready to get into this one?
Let's give it to him.
Brother Stogie, welcome back. It is damn near the end of May. Going into June here soon, And yesterday I found myself having to rifle through the back of my closet for all my winter clothes that I put away, and actually ended up putting on a sweater yesterday.
Yep, I had on a corduroy jacket myself yesterday.
What's going on with this weather? I know.
You know, I'm not complaining.
Because we're going to get it.
We're going to get it, so I'm not complaining. I just want to know what's happening, because usually by this time, almost June, we're already hitting about 108 degrees already.
Right.
You know, and it's barely touching 75. So I'm not complaining about the temperature outside, so I just want an explanation as to why it's taking so long.
Yeah, the temperature is perfect. It's beautiful out here right now.
Because usually by the end of February,
right,
we're already hitting upper 90s.
That's true.
And it's probably the first year in 10 years.
It's been
that we're all the way midway through the year, and we haven't hit blazing temperatures yet. So I'm a little concerned. I'm concerned.
It's the apocalypse.
You know
the end of days.
I'm concerned.
Brother Stogie.
Yes.
Before we get into today's topic, why don't we talk very quickly about what it is we're puffing on and what it is we are drinking.
Before we get into that, it's kind of peculiar that when you discuss the end of days, that the world will be riddled with violence and what they call it, sexual exploitation to the youth. But outside of all of that, the weather is great.
The weather is great.
Wouldn't you think it would be like
raining
storms,
frogs,
floods,
raining frogs,
locusts, you know?
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So what we smoking? I am smoking I've been smoking these actually quite often lately. All my other sticks have taken a break in my humidor. I've been sticking to the Nuance series from Oliva, the Oliva nub.
Very good.
And this is the double roast. So it's not an infused cigar, but it is a flavored tipped stick.
Okay.
Probably like a medium blended cigar. So it's still for your good seasoned smoker as well. But got a nice little sweet tip on the tip, and I like that. And so what we're drinking, what we drank
number 2.
Well, what we drank,
yes,
in the house was a Midori sour.
Yes, which was delicious,
delightful. We even had some a few product ideas.
Yes,
for the Titan fam while we were drinking that. So that was gone already. So this here is Pina Colada.
This is the Pina Colada Moonshine. Made by the same company that did the Maple Bacon Moonshine that we talked about in a previous episode.
Yeah, so we are doing moonshine in the Titan Lounge today. What you smoking on, bro?
So today, smoking one of my go-tos. It's the Rocky Patel Winter Collection. One of my personal favorites. Easy go-to cigar, kind of medium of the road stick. Perfect for a day where it's not too hot and it's not too cold.
Yes.
And it's not something that's so overpowering that I'm not going to be able to enjoy these sweet, decadent, succulent flavors of the Pina Colada Moonshine. Because this stuff tastes thick, right?
Yeah, it is thick. That's why I'm letting the ice kind of wither in it a little bit, loosen it up a bit.
It definitely tastes thick, but it has a very sweet taste to it, and it's one of those things that I assure you, like if it was a hot summer day and you're sitting on the porch smoking your cigar, you could easily pound a freaking mason jar full of this stuff and be lit by the end of the night.
But that's okay, because you're just chilling.
Just chilling.
You're just chilling, because we have in a part of our Titan member family, we have members in here who are ages of 50 and up.
How old?
50 and
50,
up.
yes.
Then we had one of our subscribers who's 62 years old.
Yeah, I saw that comment. That's awesome.
62 years old. Just started smoking cigars.
Yep.
But
Paul Rader.
Yes.
Got the name.
But I'm pretty sure Paul Rader wants to know, the difference between, the old school, the old timer cigar smokers. Prevalent probably like baby boomer.
Yes.
Gen X.
Baby boomers to Gen X.
To Gen X were primarily your older gentlemen.
Right.
Your blue collar who can work, they're probably over the age of 40 years old. You want to go home and just shut the fuck up sometimes. But but I read, I did a little research, and I read that the millennials, millennial. I'm the earlier part of the millennial generation.
Yes.
Kind of stirring up the pot a little bit. They're taking the the feng shui for what cigars was supposed to bring to the community, and kind of just like doing all kind of shit with it. Do you think that the newer generation of cigar smokers are destroying the spirit of what cigars were meant to do?
No. However, I do think that there are some outliers there that certainly give the industry a bad name. But I think the whole idea, Brother Stogie, of a younger generation of cigar smokers is always going to be a good thing for the cigar industry. It's what keeps the industry alive. Absolutely. And you and I talked a little bit about this when we were inside, right? We were talking about some of the differences between, you know, these two generations, where back in the day, you know, back in the baby boomer generation, right? A good premium cigar was absolutely 100% considered a luxury, and most people back then could not afford that luxury. It was priced well beyond or well out of the range of your average everyday blue collar worker, right? And so a nice premium hand rolled cigar was not something that most people could afford. So back then, what kind of cigars did they smoke? Well, we call them gas station cigars now, but it was the Penantellas and things like that. It was the machine rolled cigars back then, because you could typically get something like that for, you know, 50 cents, you know, for, you know, a box of 2 or 3 of those, you know, back in the day. And that was the go-to cigar. Having a younger generation now of cigar smokers and actually having an entry level price point on these that is much more affordable than it used to be back in the day, makes these wonderful libations a lot more accessible to a younger demographic.
True.
But Brother Stogie, you're a millennial.
I am a millennial.
You're a millennial, right? So what do you think about the younger generation of cigar smokers today?
So let me see. So for those, you know, being I guess a youngster, I'll take being a youngster, being 40.
I said younger. I wouldn't say youngster. You know, I said younger.
Younger. You know what I'm saying? So those who don't know, like the baby boomer are generally between 56 and 74 years old.
Correct.
I think that'd be like the cutoff, maybe 1964 birthday.
That sounds right.
Would be considered about the baby boomer range. Yes. So after that will be like the Gen Z. I think the cutoff for the Gen Z population is 1980.
Is that Gen Z or Gen X?
Gen X.
Yes.
Gen X cutoff is 1981.
Yes, correct.
Yes. And then I, you know, come after that, shortly after, millennials. I don't think that we've ruined it just based off what I'm getting ready to tell y'all.
Okay,
you know,
let's hear it.
So I think, you know, back in the day, it was only the old timers. You know, oh, my grandpa this, you know, my uncle that. You know, but now I think we've brought to the forefront of the cigar community that the sexy, you know, middle-aged man can enjoy a damn cigar.
That's right.
Now you can come in as a 25-year-old, show that you're distinguished, you know, look, you know, what they say, dapper or debonair, and add some sexiness to this shit. It's not just for the blue-collar older gentleman who just want to come home and just sit away from everybody and just be quiet.
Right.
And now it's more of like a sexy social status now.
Right.
To where I can go in, I'm middle-aged, I'm about 25, between 34 years old, and I'm not, but for those in that age range, they can go in there, have a cigar, and bump elbows with those other older generation, and again, bridge that gap.
Yeah, and I think there's something to be said about that too, bringing a younger generation kind of into the fold, as it were, talking to that older generation. I think that can almost always be a positive thing for the younger generation. And it does give the older generation, who may not be, I guess, as in tune with some of the things that are going on in the younger generation, an opportunity to learn from the younger generation as well. Mixing those generations certainly seems like a good thing for both ends of the aisle there.
I had a thought just now that was similar to that. I think with the new Gen Z, your new technology age kids, I think they've lost that respect for the older generation.
Absolutely. But I mean, you could in all fairness, you could probably make that argument about almost any generation. They're going to say that, but I do think there's something unique to what you're saying here, because I do think that is something you're seeing a lot more frequently.
Well, I'm gonna argue that, because up until like going into, I guess, midway through the millennials, it was preached amongst, your parents and the older gen that you respect your elders.
Right.
You speak when spoken to.
Right.
You don't sit where the adults are as a kid.
Right.
When all the adults are talking in one room, you as a child, you go to another room.
Correct.
And if there was something you needed from your parent, and your parents were talking amongst other people of their age demographic, what'd you have to say?
What'd you have to say?
What did you have to say to be able to speak your word as a child, amongst a group of your elders? What would you have to say to interject? This may be a black folklore, but I'm a C.
Okay, I feel like I've got the spotlight on me now.
I got you. I'm gonna take it back from you.
Okay,
what I'm saying?
There's so much pressure. I'm starting to panic inside.
I got you. No, so as a black boy growing up, in order to interject into a peer of elders, you had to say, "Mom, excuse me." If you weren't acknowledged, which means that conversation was too deep, you were to continue on and go back to where you came from.
100%, yeah. 100%.
But you had to say, "Excuse me," to get the attention of the adults. But I think as we kind of went to like the later form of the millennials into the Gen Z, all that respect is kind of gone.
Agreed.
So how we talk about the whole, the community of the cigar world?
Right.
I think now, since we're having this conversation, that cigars are re-bridging those gaps of respect for your elders, because you're now looking for the wisdom of, what got you into cigars?
Yeah.
What do you enjoy about cigars? Young folks are asking the older generation about that to see what they have in common.
Right.
So I think that's another thing about, bridging that gap between the new folks and your older generation of cigar smokers.
Completely agree. I think this younger generation has a tendency, whether it be right or wrong, they definitely take the approach more of respect is earned, right? But then the flip side to that is they don't end up giving respect to anybody. And again, I'm generalizing a statement here. I'm not trying to apply this to everybody who's watching. But the younger generation definitely leans more towards respect is earned. And I can respect that, right?
Yeah.
And say, sure, some respect should absolutely be earned.
Yes.
But I also believe that there's a certain level of surface level respect that should be given even if you don't know somebody.
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
That is something that I think is lacking in the younger generation today, kind of touching on what you were saying, right? Mm-hmm. Where approach your folks with a certain level of respect if you wanted to get a response out of them. And if they didn't acknowledge you in the moment, like you weren't even there, then that meant take your ass back into the other room and I'll come and talk to you when I'm ready, right? Like that is always something that should be present. There's
a common level of respect you should have for everybody. I think that goes, so I'm gonna take it probably a little left field from what we're talking about, but shit, I'm gonna talk about it anyway. Like from homies, say, you introduced me to someone that I've never met before.
Correct.
There's a baseline of respect that should be there.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know him, you should be able to present yourself in a respectful manner. Now, if he comes and he's an asshole, then that respect retracts.
100%.
Because you got to respond.
Yeah, absolutely.
Law enforcement, corrections, ambulance, there's a level of respect that should already be there.
Yes.
Just because of their title. I don't give a shit. I don't care what you say. Because of their title, there should already be a form of respect already there.
Right.
Period. Parental figures. If you are introduced to your great-grandmother and you are blessed to be in her presence, she is still alive and she is in her 90s and 100s, there is a God-given level of respect that should already be there before she even opens her mouth.
I agree completely.
You should automatically have a level of respect, period. And for those who have not been introduced to that common courtesy of respect of just being a human being, that's where we're losing our society. What was the question
again? Man, I made that whole thing sound really good.
Right, my man, what was the question again?
It was about the new generation pushing the cigar industry into the 21st
good and the bad.
century. Good and the bad. Yeah.
Got it. You know what I'm saying? So we got, You know, our boy Lincoln from Cigar and Spirits magazine.
Yes.
We got our boys from the Burn Down.
Yeah.
You know, and I mentioned these fellas because they are showing the debonair side of the cigar community.
Yes.
And on top of it, you have the Debonair Lounge in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, where most of their events, you're showing up in a suit and tie.
Yep.
Don't come up dressed no less.
Nope.
You know, and I think
debonair for nothing.
No, exactly. You know, so I believe that, you know, the younger generation has brought that element to the cigar community that is now, it is a social feature, and it's nice to come up dressed in your best if you are a cigar smoker.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. But I think, you know, and even the women too, you know, as you talk, you know, spoke inside the studio, you know, we said that, you know, women who have come along in the cigar community, you know, they have brought an element that wasn't there before because this community was primarily all male. And so we appreciate, you know, showing that, you know, women have a strong arm in this community as well because you have, you know, Sisters in Smoke. Yeah. You have, you know, Ash. Yeah. You know, Cigar Ash. And they are, you know, your legit cigar aficionado. You can catch them at a legit cigar event. You ask them a question, they know a little something. They can point you in the direction of a legit premium cigar that you would enjoy. But the negative end on it is, and we see it all the time, bro. You know, from, you know, the creators, you know, for the internet and social media, they're kind of doing too much.
Everybody wants to stand out. Everybody's trying to do something different. Doesn't always land.
You know, and then you go to our, you know, female aficionados. You know, sometimes we're stuck wondering if, are you an aficionado? Are you doing it because you enjoy it, or do you enjoy knowing the fact that this is a male-dominant industry and they might enjoy just seeing a little ass or titties?
Drop 'em out, let me see them titties. Gonna take a long look at those titty gold bitties. Areolas looking nice, nipples looking real pretty. Come on, let me get her at your boobs.
And that's the only reason why you're in it.
Call them cigar sluts, yeah.
Cigar sluts.
Yeah.
You know, so there is, you know, there's a derogatory group in every community, but we talking about cigars here, goddammit.
That's right.
We are. And I think that's the negative element brought to you by, I guess, millennials in this industry.
Yeah, I think there's, you know, like you said, there's positives and negatives when it comes to the younger generation kind of taking the cigar torch and bringing it into the 21st century. And you touched on a lot of that, you know, some of the social media stuff, you know. The more social media, the more positive social media posts that are out there talking about the cigar industry, the better that is for the cigar industry, right?
Ultimate point we're trying to get across was, I think it was good that the old school vision of what cigar smoking looked like has now blended into a new age blending of the communities.
Yes.
You know, I mean, the new age of men and women into the old age of just men. I think we have expanded the cigar community in a positive note.
Yeah.
I think we have shown the world how great this product is. You know, we have, and especially in the Titan community, we have showed that, you know, the exploration of your palate, knowing what your body can and cannot handle, knowing that your, you know, doctor from Laguna Beach and your Caltrans worker from the city of Ontario can come together in one lounge and have a great time together.
Yeah.
And the monetary value of both men doesn't matter because they both have one thing in common. What is that?
Cigars.
Motherfucking cigar.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Hey, so if y'all agree with the video that we just put out for you just now, hey, comment below and let us know how you feel. All the old heads, comment below and let us know how you feel about the newer generation and these cigar smoking experiences and how you think it may or may not have affected your cigar experience. Are there commonalities? Are there not? Are there things that the newcomers do that you was like, I ain't doing that shit. That ain't me. That ain't what the old folks do.
Right.
We'll let the youngsters do that stuff. Leave it in the comments. Hey, if you enjoyed the content of the day, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers.
Almost.
We are moving along. Do us a favor. Continue to comment. We love the comments. As you see that pasty ass white hand crossing along the screen, you have to like and subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell so you get new notification every time Cigar Type posts a new video for y'all.
Yes, but before you end on your catchphrase,
yes,
we wanted to throw something out there for the Titan community for our next video.
Okay.
We need your support. We need your help, Titan fam. We want to do a fun video, and we thought it would be super cool for us to do a video where we use or utilize artificial intelligence,
AI,
to come up with the most ridiculous things you can think of in the comments.
Doesn't have to be specifically cigar related.
No, it doesn't have to be. I mean, we are kind of a cigar channel.
It can be Yogi Bear smoking a cigar on the Eiffel Tower.
Put it down in the comments. We will give you a shout out on the next video, as well as showing your picture and what AI came up with on the next video.
Yes. So please do that. Enjoy. We're going to have some fun on the next video. And until next time, live how you smoke how you live. And that's smooth, baby.
We will see everybody on the week in the next of the next week.
The week of the next, and the chicken, the chocolate pudding, and the